My mom has always been, in the simplest, most plainest word I can use, selfish.
Hey champions, allow me to introduce to you author Alice Edwards. This is her Why My Mom story entitled Ascending from Addiction. You see, Alice's story is really dealing with her mother's struggle with addiction. And somehow, in the midst of Alice sharing her Why My Mom story, you'll find that Alice discovered her own struggle as well.
My name is Alice Edwards, and this is my Why My Mom story. The Why My Mom story for me is just a summary of my childhood / adulthood growing up with an addict mom.
When did she become an addict? Do you remember?
No, I've always known her as an addict. I assume she became an addict due to her lifestyle. My grandma always would complain about her lifestyle. She was a model, was always on the go, modeling per se. So I assume that lifestyle is what prompted her to become an addict. My childhood was quite different from the ones you usually hear about as an only child. You know, usually you hear about an only child being spoiled, having everything, mom's favorite. I was quite the opposite. I was kind of spoiled, but I was spoiled by my grandma rather than my mom. My mom was not around as much as my grandmother was, so it was quite different in that aspect. I was able to make it because I'm strong-willed. I've always known what I've wanted to do or be. You know, I've always known I did not want to be my mom. So that is how I made it. And me not trying to be her so much, I've overcompensated as a mother. I think I have sometimes overstepped that line between having balance with having my own life and being a mother too. I experienced a lot of loneliness, a lot of questioning why. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of teenagers or young girls especially can relate to wondering why my mom, you know, or feeling that loneliness. You know, as a woman, we always want to be wanted and loved. And when you have a mother that is chasing something far greater than you are, you get lost in the dust. So I think for me, that feeling of always being second, third, fourth, or fifth will probably be the most major thing that I know other children, even women, can relate to. My mom has always been, in the simplest, most plainest word I can use, selfish. It was always what she wanted, when she wanted it, how she wanted it, even to this day. And that, even more so than the addiction, is the trait that I despise. So that hits harder for me than her even being addicted to drugs, because I know I probably could have even dealt with the addiction had it come second or third or fourth. But the fact that it came first, and that euphoria came first, and that need for whatever that chase is came first, to me is just selfish, and that is what I don't want to be. I don't know if I have forgiven my mom. I have tried to work with my mom and give her a helping hand and, you know, embrace the journey when she tries to stop, and when she falls, I try to help pick her up. But to say that I have forgiven her, I will not sit here and lie and say yes, because I have not.
What message would you give her that nobody ever did? How would you save her right now with the cape on your back? How would you save her if you could?
I don't think it would be so much as something I would say. I would hug her. I would hug her. I mean, some things don't need words. Words won't do. You know, some things you just want somebody there. You want a hug. So I would hug her. Yeah. And I will hug her. Thank you. I became a nurse by chance. I wanted to travel. I wanted to get away from here. It's honestly what I wanted to do. But I found myself in boot camp in the Air Force and found out I was pregnant with Nada. So I went to school to be a CNA, and I ended up liking it. And so that it took off from there. From there, I continued to, get the education to become a pharmacy tech, med tech, and then ultimately a nurse. Pediatrics was something I stumbled upon too, just based on the hours that they were offering. I wanted to work days so that I could be off to take care of Nada once she got out of school, and I ended up loving peds. And in working, I realized in working, because I worked for KD in Norfolk, and you meet a certain demographic when you work down there. So I met a lot of single moms, a lot of younger single moms who needed what I had, who needed to do what I did. You start from the ground, you work your way up, who need that boost. So that's where Hope trainings came from. It was me wanting to teach that demographic that, okay, we can start from here and you can go anywhere. And so I figured with my education and my experience, the two hand in hand, that I could relate and I could teach. I could, because a lot of times you meet teachers who that's all they do, they teach, they don't relate. So you don't listen to anything that they say. They have no experience, they don't know where you came from, they don't know what you're going through. So I figured if I could bring the best of both worlds, then Hope would be a successful thing. Me blogging came from my daughter's accident. It is supposed to be my outlet, and me throwing the things that I learned to others who can learn and who maybe feel the same way I feel, or who maybe want to know the same things that I want to know. So my blog is me sharing my experience and my resources with others in hopes that they will find the help that they need, and they will be able to converse with me and let out the things that they need to let out too. So.
Don't have to
mom. Just want to let you know that it is okay to admit that you're an addict. I know you are an addict. I've always known you're an addict. And I still love you anyway. I always have, and I always will.